Do you ever get people trying to sell to you and it feels like just a bunch of words being thrown up on you and you're like, I have no idea what it is that you want me to do. I have no idea what it is that you are selling to me. Like, you're just saying a lot of words to me. Or this happens if you're a parent. I know I have experienced this, but do you ever have your kids come up to you and ask you, they're trying to ask you for something or to do something for them, but they go all around Robin's Bend trying to, before they get to the thing they're really wanting to ask you to do or to give them. Normally it's to give them. Instead of just asking for the thing. Like, I know I get frustrated with my daughter when she does that. If you've ever experienced that, you know how frustrating it is. And it's just weird. It's just weird. And so what I want to talk to you today about is how to not be weird in your marketing. And the reason that this came up today, I was driving, being mommy Uber, taking my daughter to dance class. And while we were driving, we're in the middle of a conversation. We're talking about her day at school. She was excited about school has started last week. And so she's excited about some of the things that she's trying out this year that she hasn't done before. So we're having a great mommy-daughter conversation. And as we're driving, this guy like jumps out in the street with this huge sign. And it looked almost like it was bigger than poster board. It looked more like he was basically carrying a whiteboard, like a huge whiteboard. I can't even show y'all how big in the screen, but like if I had my arms out as far as they would go, that is how big this thing was, because he was literally holding it like that. And it had all of these words like written on it. And I'm guessing like dry erase pen and different markers and different colors. But it was like a word jumble, a word salad on this whiteboard. Have no idea what it was saying, but whatever it was, this guy was super passionate about it. He's pointing to it. He's yelling at people as they're driving by. And my daughter and I are looking at each other like, what in the world is he talking about? What is he trying to get people to do? And I thought about it. And I was like, this is what so many marketers, so many entrepreneurs do with their marketing. You are out in the middle of these internet streets yelling, trying to get attention for whatever your messaging is. And you're wondering why nobody is picking up what you're laying down. So I want to talk about 3 things that I think will help you to not be the weird person, the weird guy with the sign pointing and yelling at everybody. So the first thing that I want to share with you is you want to have a clear message. What do I mean by a clear message? Are you saying something that people can easily understand? So number 1, this is a challenge that I see with so many people who come from corporate America, who have lots of education, and they're used to, especially women, and I'm going to say women of color, because historically we have had to really like just show up as super intelligent, more like we have to be better than everybody else. Just to get the recognition and to get the promotions and all of that. And so you come from feeling like you have to sound like you have all of the education, you know, all the big words, you can break it down so it can forever be broke, like all of that. And what happens is when you bring that over into your business and your marketing, you're using all these words. You are over talking your audience where they can't hear what the message is because you're too busy trying to make it sound like you are the expert. I'm going to give you guys a secret. The secret to sounding like an expert is I heard Myron Golden say this, and I love the way he phrases it, but it's something that I talk about too. It's think like a genius, talk like a 3rd grader. So it used to be like you used to hear talk like a 7th grader. And this is important too, for those of you guys who use AI and you are like Chat GPT and all of those things, you want, whenever you're putting something in there and you're trying to use it to help you create content, make sure you're telling it to not speak like a 7th grader, but to give you something back that is speaking on a 3rd grade level. That is the level that you want to speak to your audience, because when you're throwing out big words, when you are, and this is not to, I'm not saying this to dumb you down, because the thing is, if you really understand what it is that you do and how you help people and understand the problem that you're solving for people, you should be able to talk, you should be able to explain it to a third grader where they would understand it. So I have a niece who is a third grader, and I remember her asking me, like, what is it that you do, Auntie? And I had to be able to explain it so that she would understand it. That's how I want you to. And so it forced me to take out the jargon, to take out the corporate speak, to take out the marketing speak that I'm used to using, so that she could understand what I was talking about. So if this is something that you struggle with, if people feel like you're talking over their head, and the way that you know that is they're not engaging with you, they tune off of your content, or they don't ever ask questions because they don't want to seem dumb. They don't want to seem like they don't understand what you're saying. Those are just some of the signs that you're probably talking at a higher level than what you need to be talking to your audience at. So go and find a kid, whether it's your own. Don't go out and steal somebody's kid, but there's probably some children somewhere in your vicinity, in your proximity, that you can go and talk to about what it is that you do, and just say, hey, play a little game with me, give them a lollipop or something afterwards, and just tell them, hey, I want to tell you something, and let me know if you have questions, if you understand what I'm saying. You want to make sure that your message is clear. So practice talking like a third grader while you're still thinking like a genius. Okay. Second thing, you want to make sure that your message talks about the problem that they are already looking to solve. So I get this question all the time, like, where should I be so that I can attract or find the right people? I feel like where I am right now, it's not enough people who, will buy or will pay me this higher price, a higher ticket for my offers, because we work on selling higher tickets. And that's really not the question that you want to be asking. It is a better question to ask, who are the people that are already looking for a solution to the problem that I'm trying to solve? That is so much easier. It's so much easier to sell to those people and to get seen by those people than to go out and just try to, throw spaghetti against the wall, shout out into the void of these internet streets, and hope that enough people who are looking for what you do will respond. So if you spend more of your time talking about the problem that they're already looking to solve, they're already feeling the pain, right? So think about it. Like when you have a toothache and you can't do anything about it at home. You've tried the Orajel, you've tried ice, you've tried gargling with salt water, like all the things, and it is not working. So you've already been looking for a solution for this tooth that hurts. It is so much easier for you when you're looking for that, then you start looking for a dentist, right? And then you're looking for a dentist that's open 24 hours or has emergency hours, because you can't wait until tomorrow or their next opening. So think about it. Those dentists who talk about that they have 24-hour service, that they can work on emergencies, those are the ones that I'm going to find, because they're talking about the solution to the problem I'm already looking for, right? Not the dentist who's out there trying to figure out what platform people with hurt teeth are on. Like, just start talking about the problem that people are already looking for, and they will find you. And the more that you talk about that problem, the easier it's going to be for them to find you, because they might not see the first piece of content you put out there. They might not see the second, third, fourth, or fifth, but if you're consistent about it and keep talking about that thing over and over again, they will find you. Okay. So last thing I want to share with you before I hop off, make sure that your message is easy for them to consume. How do they like to consume information? So if you're on Instagram and you are trying to put content on there that is not Instagram friendly, like we know that Instagram likes images and Instagram likes reels, right? Those are the two top performing pieces of content right now. And even with the images, it's more carousels are working really well right now. And so that might change, but if you are trying to force content onto Instagram that does not fit on Instagram, you're going to have a problem. You're going to wonder why nobody is paying attention to you. So you want to work with the platform that you're using, but you also want to think about, how is my audience consuming content? So most of us, we look at content, we look at our phones, we look at TikTok and YouTube and all the things. Most people are watching it on their phones. So are you creating content that's easy for somebody to see on their phone? A lot of times people are watching social media at night or early in the morning when they're in the bed and they have the sound off. So do you have captions that are coming up, right? You want to be thinking about those things when you are creating content. And the thing that I was thinking about with the guy that had the weird guy that had the sign shouting at everybody on the street today, he was trying to get everybody's attention. But what he was doing was actually interrupting everybody that was driving by. So I told you, my daughter and I were in the middle of a great conversation about her day at school. And then this guy basically kind of jumps out, like we almost hit him, with this sign, yelling and pointing to what's on the sign that we couldn't read because it was a whole bunch of words, right? And the words were written in dry erase marker in some light colors that even if you were really trying to focus on what the words were saying, you still couldn't read it. So you want to make sure that you're not interrupting people, because if you're talking about the problem they're already looking to solve, you're not going to be an interruption. You're going to grab their attention. So you want attention grabbing content, not interruption content. And the thing is, with every piece of marketing that you do, there is an exchange. We normally think about, okay, when I make an offer to sell something, then I'm exchanging, the offer or the product or service that I'm selling for money. But any piece of marketing that you do, people are on the other end are paying for it. They may not be paying you with dollars, but they are paying you with their attention. So you better make it worth their money, worth their time and their attention. And you do that by making it about them and talking about the things that they're interested in, which are the problems that they're already looking to solve. So there's a great book that talks about this. It's called Permission Marketing by Seth Godin. He talks about that today, modern marketers have to be creating content, creating marketing that is going to people who are already asking for this thing. So you're not creating an interruption for them, but you're grabbing their attention and they're giving you permission to market to them. The guy today that had the sign in the road, he didn't ask permission from anybody. He's yelling and pointing and wondering why nobody's paying him any attention. So most people, when they think about branding, they think about that it's kind of an afterthought from the sales and the marketing. So I'm promoting my thing, right? I'm promoting my offer, the thing I'm trying to sell. And so that's what people are focused on. They're focused on, I want to tell people about the thing that I'm selling, and I want to sell people into my program, into my course. I want to sell them my book. I want to sell them this product that I've created. But the thing is, it would be so much easier to sell that if your brand was doing the heavy lifting for you, if your messaging in your branding was doing the heavy lifting for you. So you've been talking about the problem before you're even talking about what the solution is. So the biggest determining factor when somebody's deciding whether or not to buy from you is, have you become the person and the brand that they will say yes to before they even hear what the offer is? Let me say that again. Have you become the person, the brand that they will say yes to before they even know what the offer is? And so you might be asking, well, how do I do that? How do I become? That's the question really for all of us. How do you become that person? And you do that by showing up consistently, by showing up authentically, by having content that has substance and is clear. And it's not just the word salad that you're throwing out and yelling into the void. You're actually putting your attention on the people on the receiving end who have a problem that you can solve. It is your marketing, your branding, your sales is a service. You are helping. The goal should be to help people. And I love this quote by Frank Kern. He says, show people you can help them by actually helping them. So when you're creating your content, make sure that your messaging, the intent of it is to help people on the other end, whether or not they buy from you or not. And when you do that, that is when you build a brand that people will say yes to before they even hear the offer. So if that is something that you would like to hear more about, if you would like for me to talk to you about what that could look like for your business, maybe you want me to take a look at your messaging and help you to figure out, how do I make this clearer? And, or even more importantly, because I can give you tactics and strategies all day long, but if you don't become the person who has the brand that people will say yes to without hearing the offer, all those tactics and strategies will, I promise you, they will not work. And that is a process that takes time, that takes intention. I can tell you, go post this and say this over here on Instagram, or create a video for this on YouTube. And you might get some response to it, but it will not build the type of brand that is sustainable and that sells, and that people are going to go and talk about on your behalf to other people if you are not intentional and you don't have a strategy behind it that is focused on building you as a personal brand in a way that people are like, I don't care what she's selling. I haven't even heard what it is, but sign me up for it because I rock with her or him. So that is what I help people to do. If that's something you would like help with yourself, there's a link below this video, or maybe it's above, that says book a call with me, and you're going to go to getbrandedandbook.com. When you get there, there are some videos that you can watch that give you a little more information about me and what I do, how I help people. And then there's a link, there's a button to click to apply. So you want to apply for the call, right? Everybody who applies does not get a call, but I will make sure that I respond to you, that I follow up with you, because I want to make sure that we're going to be a fit. And I will let you know if I'm not a good fit for you. I'm not somebody who's just going to sell you something or waste your time if you're not at a point yet where I can support you the way that I support people. There's other people that support you a different way. I see Sharita is on right now. Sharita is a great business advisor. She is excellent at helping you to get capital and also to get, she knows a lot about getting seen on media. Talk to Sharita if that's your thing. If you need help building your brand, if you need help with your messaging, making sure that your offers are aligned with your messaging and the type of brand that you want to be known for, holla at me. Let's talk. All right. So I don't want you to be weird when you're out here marketing in these internet streets, because nobody wants the weird person calling them or interrupting their day. I don't want you to be that to your audience. I want you to be the person that they see and they're like, oh my gosh, I have prayed for you. I have been looking for you, for somebody like you, because I have this pain, this problem that has gotten so big. I know I can't fix it myself. And I've been looking for somebody just like you who can solve it for me. So I don't even know how you do that yet, but whatever you do, I vibe with you, I resonate with you, and I want whatever it is that you're offering that can help me. That's the kind of brand you want to build. All right. That's all I have for you today. I hope this was helpful. If it was, give me some likes, drop a comment in the chat to let me know, like, what was your biggest takeaway from this, and share it with somebody who needs to hear this today, because friends don't let other friends be weird. All right. That's it. Have an amazing day. I will see you next time.